Hello, my name is Lorna Titania and I'm a Digital Product Manager at City & Guilds. In today's webinar, I'm going to take you through the following topics. What are digital credentials? Why are City & Guilds so interested in them and so committed to embedding them within our ways of working? And what are City & Guilds doing with digital credentials now, and what plans do we have for the future? And I'll finish with some case studies and examples to give you a flavour of some of the projects that we've been working on. City & Guilds is now showing that it's easier to realise opportunities when we can see every skill, when we're able to truly see the bigger picture. To do this, we empower the enablers of skills development to take more control of ensuring people can be objectively seen for who they really are and who they could be. We're helping people, organisations and economies to develop the right skills for growth in a more agile, responsive and trackable way. Now, the many qualifications that City & Guilds offer are credentials in their own right, and are naturally evolving over time to become more digital. You'll continue to see us helping to digitise all objective statements of progression, development or achievement. We've already seen the step from paper certificates being supported by e-certificates, and digital credentials for some of our qualifications is the next step in this evolution of communicating and verifying credentials. Now, there are three roles within any digital credentials framework. The role of the issuer, i.e. the individual or organisation issuing or awarding the credentials. The learner or the earner of the credential. And the reviewer, the individual who looks at a badge and seeks to understand more of what lies behind it as evidence on that credential. Now, digital credentials have benefits for each person in that chain. So let's start with the issuer first. Digital credentials offer a great opportunity to promote your organisation and your learners by very clearly defining your expectations, confirming progress, and rewarding all achievements and development. With regards to the earners, it helps their career to grow by enabling them to understand their learning framework, the evidence required. It allows them to manage, showcase and share their digital credentials safely and securely online. And at the final stage, it helps the review of the badges to discover, understand and validate the digital credentials quickly and simply online. Now, digital credentials are built upon a secure open standard, with key metadata always being recorded. Having a globally adopted open badge standard makes wider sharing of digital credentials possible, and also allows them to be stacked against credentials awarded from a variety of different sources, as they all crucially share the same underpinning rules and have the same data baked into them. Now, digital credentials help us to begin to use a common language. They are really flexible, data-rich format that can be used to recognise and communicate lots of different types of skills and achievements. Knowledge and/or understanding or competency is where traditional recognition naturally sits, but digital credentials can provide a way to communicate digitally those achievements, but also break down the more granular skills within them. But there's the potential to recognise so much more, from small informal achievements like simple event participation to mastery of a skill. And organisations can take control by designing digital credentials to recognise the skills that matter to their staff, their students or their members. So this could be from digitising paper certification to new recognition programmes. No matter how, when or where those skills are earned, we can set criteria for the achievement of each credential, defining how they can be issued and by whom, building in expiration routes if needed. And they can create learning pathways and motivate learners to take control of their own development. Now, some of the problems that we're looking to overcome with our use of credentials include the gap between employers and the education system, which means that the skills being developed and recognised aren't always what employers want to see. Too many people are unemployed or underemployed, possibly in jobs they hate, because many of the skills and experiences are invisible, especially those developed on the job. The skills needed by employers change so rapidly due to globalization, automation, and artificial intelligence, etc., that educators can't keep up. Self-certified CVs and LinkedIn profiles are no longer fully trusted and have little objectivity. Expensive formal and linear learning programs, i.e. one-size-fits-all, are not always agile and responsive to the skills needed, especially human skills, which we'll talk about more later. Closed learning, so this is where talent management systems lock in achievements. What we want to be able to do is increase the visibility of workplace credentials. And traditional certificates are arguably becoming less fit for the modern online age. Now, if we now think about human skills, which can be best described as those working habits, those transferable skills, those values, those motivations and behaviours that are not often fully developed and have traditionally been hard to objectively recognise and communicate. Looking ahead to the skills predicted to be most needed in 2020, we can see skills such as complex problem solving, critical thinking and creativity. Now, sometimes you'll hear these called soft skills, yet there's a clear argument for calling them hard skills, as these will be the essentials, the hard skills that employers will need and that will be very hard to be replaced by machine learning or robots. Now, we believe that digital credentials offer a whole range of new tools to enhance the how, when and where we all learn, really seeking to democratise the access to self-development. The assessment of skills and achievements, especially for micro or just-in-time learning. Qualification certificates to enable us to better communicate the skills and more widely showcase the achievements. CPD and professional practice registers. Your CV, your LinkedIn page, and how we can improve trust in your professional online personas. Job application processes, job adverts, job boards, and how people market themselves on those. Talent systems, HR and training records, personal development reviews. Intranets and how we connect and find colleagues, and how we can promote businesses and organisations. So here we're using badges as effectively viral marketing agents. Now, we at City & Guilds believe that digital credentials play an important role in a person's lifelong learning journey, playing a role in all stages of a person's development and progression. Whether at school, inspiring young people to learn what their interests and passions are and to make more visible the career options and what's needed to get there. Preparing learners to move into the world of work by helping them understand and validate the skills they have and provide a verifiable format for them to share with employers. Supporting people on the job by helping them work safely, effectively, and optimizing their productivity. And developing people to progress within their job and onto the next job through recognizing CPD, learning and development programs, and enabling organisations to see the full picture of skills within their organisation. Now, digital credentials are very safe and very secure. The flexible nature of building personalised profile pages allows a learner to showcase a profile of skills. So individuals can showcase and share their achievements by publishing their credentials to professional profiles like LinkedIn, or embedding in their CV or on websites or blogs. And as digital credentials are built on the Open Badge standard, they can travel with an earner by sharing them more widely through social media. An earner can receive more evidence-based recommendations and endorsements from colleagues. And an organisation's brand that has had a credential shared is also promoted as part of that process. So how are we at City and Guilds embracing digital credentials? Well, in June 2016, City and Guilds Group created a new business made up of some existing City and Guilds staff and two smaller acquisitions of early pioneers in the use of open badges and digital credentials. Those companies were DigitalMe and MakeWaves. And in May 2017, Credential became a City and Guilds Group investment, which we added to the family in order to add an important technology capability, with an EU-hosted version of their US product now exclusively being sold through DigitalMe. And DigitalMe brings together several key elements. So it brings together managed services and consultancy, so great people who can help with credential design and support around adoption and take-up of credentialing programs. They bring technology, so we've got some software as a service platforms that make this scalable, easy, effective, reliable and safe. And accreditation, so we can add third-party awarding organisation recognition, which provides that added trust and confidence in the credential outcomes. In practice, City and Guilds works with DigitalMe to develop our own digital credential frameworks. We work collaboratively on some projects where City and Guilds provides the assessment expertise and quality assurance, and DigitalMe supports with the technology. Where organisations wish to be their own issuer of digital credentials, DigitalMe can support directly with design consultancy and technology solutions. As I mentioned before, DigitalMe can work directly with centres and organisations as they can empower you, the client, to be your own issuer of digital credentials. DigitalMe can support with framework design consultancy and technology solutions, and they offer a collaborative design approach, helping organisations to really understand how digital credentials can add value and work through all of the practical steps required for effective framework design. DigitalMe can also provide technology solutions in the form of digital credential platforms. So we've now established a web presence on our website, and I'd encourage you to check that out and have a look. So on that web page, we showcase a suite of videos discussing the benefits of digital credentials, sharing skills via digital credentials and capturing human skills, and the role of digital credentials. And we have a simple new infographic to help you understand the value of a digital credential. Now, any of these assets can easily be shared around your organisation to spread the word and drive buy-in. City and Guilds has worked on a taxonomy of digital credentials to ensure consistency of look and feel across the different types of digital credential we might wish to issue. And these underpin all of the work we do at City and Guilds. And this taxonomy will continue to grow with our recognition services beginning to extend it still wider. City and Guilds now has its own digital credential platform provided by DigitalMe on the EU version of the Credential platform. And we're beginning to use this to issue our own digital credentials. You can see at the bottom of this image a few of the apprenticeship on-programme credentials that we are piloting, and you'll hear more on this in a moment. The great thing about this platform is the ease with which we can issue credentials. We have the power to retrospectively issue, we can add supporting evidence, we can instantly revoke credentials if we need to, or set expiry conditions, and we can support ongoing re-qualification. Once issued with a credential from our platform, earners have full control over how they collate and showcase their skills. This enables earners to build up a rich picture of their skills profile and personalise that profile. Individuals unleash their credentials across the web to become more discoverable and verifiable. And this includes integrations with leading social media sites like LinkedIn and Facebook. Embed codes and other sharing tools allow individuals to control when and where they want to be seen online. Secure metadata in each credential can include criteria, evidence, testimonials, expiration dates, conditions where that credential might get revoked, and any alignment to industry standards. And this allows easy understanding and validation of the credential and what it took to achieve, bringing greater transparency and hopefully value. As each credential is shared, the issuer is shared with it, promoting what the issuer does and their wider offerings, helping drive improved take-up of skills and behavioural development initiatives. So let's take a look at some examples of where City and Guilds is embracing the use of digital credentials. Now, I always think it makes a massive difference when organisations don't just talk the talk, but also walk the walk. And that's why I'm so delighted that City and Guilds as a business is really embracing digital credentials for the way our business works. I, along with many colleagues from across the business, attend internal conferences. And we have pre-work to do, as well as delivering or engaging with presentations and workshops at the events, all of which contribute to our endeavours being awarded through digital credentials. We also have an internal sales academy, which is our new way of rolling our new products and campaigns out to frontline staff. We also developed a series of CPD credentials across development of knowledge and understanding of the new apprenticeship reforms, to ensure we were suitably trained to support our centres through the considerable change the sector is seeing. And I know our internal HR teams are also looking at other ways and other areas of the business so that we can align ourselves to this digital credential approach. The Ampersand Awards are a recently launched internal City and Guilds awards scheme, which celebrate our people who bring alive our values of leadership, imagination and integrity, and really live and breathe the purpose of City and Guilds. And digital credentials were issued to all of those nominated across our business and those who won their categories. Our workplace skills platform, SkillZone, is a digital learning platform that we use as part of our tech back and also now in our apprenticeship programs to provide a new way of learning that develops the professional and technical skills needed for the worlds of work. It's unique in the way it helps to develop, recognise and showcase the soft skills that aren't covered by qualifications alone or aren't accredited under a current programme of study. As a learner works through their digital learning content, they can request open badges, which their tutor signs off. Learners can be awarded badges at 2 levels, Work Ready and Expert, depending on the level of learning that they complete. Those digital credentials can then be exported either to a credentialing platform like Credential or through the CV builder within Workplace Skills MyCV, which builds the credentials into a highly graphical online CV for the learners. Learners are notified if they've successfully been awarded a credential or provided with feedback from their tutor on what else they need to do to complete their badge. Feedback from centres suggests that the learners find the badges to be motivating and are beginning to see their currency out in the world of work. Now, one example of the collaborative approach between City and Guilds and DigitalMe was on the World Chefs programme, which is the first global certification for the culinary industry. World Chefs is a global body representing over 100 chef associations and over 1 million chefs. Digital credentials have brought an important global transferable element to this programme, which is key given how much chefs move around the world and is a response to the need for a globally recognised qualification. World Chefs is the issuer of these global standard credentials. City and Guilds have provided the QA element and DigitalMe supported with the platform to issue the badges. And we're now working on plans to embed the World Chefs Global Culinary Standards into our new apprenticeship occupation in culinary arts. So we created 9 digital credentials, recognising the professional levels within the industry, reaching far beyond what's recognised by national certificates and extending the reach of traditional qualifications. Chefs can access the credentials online and submit their evidence from anywhere in the world, even from a cruise ship. So who does what? Well, World Chef is the issuer of the credentials, and they manage a team of assessors assigned to the different levels. The assessment process involves chefs applying for the level they're working at and uploading evidence from their day-to-day work. Assessors located across the world review the evidence and make a judgment on competence. Now, as I just showed you, there are 9 levels, each level being linked to a career stage and having a clearly defined standard behind it. City and Guilds collaborated in the design and also externally quality assures the assessment to ensure every outcome is valid, reliable and viable. And here we can see a testimonial from the President of World Chess highlighting some of the benefits of this unique partnership. Now, what's really heartening for us to see at City and Guilds is the pride people have in the credentials that they earn with us. And here are a couple of examples of earners sharing their new achievements on social media. Another example of City and Guilds putting digital credentials into action was when we published our research, Learning to be Employable. We created an Employability Practitioner CPD Academy based around the research, and we issued digital credentials aligned to engagement with our resources. Credentials were issued around the concepts of engage, embark, embed, and excel. And if you follow the link at the bottom of the slide, you can find more out about this particular program. Now, this slide shows all of the worthy winners of our 2017 Lion Awards from City and Guilds. And we also issue all of the winners with digital credentials in support of their awards to enable them to extend the reach of their success. We're now beginning to pilot issuing of digital credentials as part of the on-program element of new apprenticeship frameworks. So why are we doing this? Well, in new apprenticeship frameworks, especially where there might no longer be mandatory qualifications, digital credentials have the potential to offer the following benefits. The first is around apprenticeship framework expectation setting. This is what I as a learner or we as a provider need to evidence on program. It offers clear milestones of achievement, so we can break down long apprenticeship programs into bite-sized chunks prior to gateway decisions or endpoint assessment. And digital credentials also offer the opportunity to ensure that learners who don't complete a full apprenticeship aren't in the position of walking away with nothing to show. And lots of providers we've spoken to are very focused on having that duty of care to their learners. And also as a tool to drive standardization, providing a consistency of delivery across multiple delivery locations by large and often disparate teams of trainers and assessors. So this is an example of the credential framework design we're going to be trialling with our automotive pilot project, where we've aligned credentials to gateways, and we're also planning to issue an endpoint assessment credential too. Now, metadata is the fancy term really for the data we bake into a credential. And here is an example of the level of metadata that sits behind each badge in our framework. So you can see the level of detail that is embedded into each digital credential. Here's an example of a routine service and inspection credential, and also an example of a Gateway 1 soft skills and behaviours credential. Sitting Guilds has a range of recognition services which span across CPD activities, development of customised qualifications, and opportunities to have external training commended or accredited by Sitting Guilds excuse me, to add extra validity and rigour to the training. Now, digital credentials can be aligned to these activities, enabling organisations to issue digital credentials alongside their training programmes. And this slide just shows some examples of recognition services and the allied credentials that we've worked on. So the acquisition of DigitalMe has afforded the wider Sitting Guilds group, including ILM, with excellent opportunities to extend the range of our offers right through from talent discovery, through on-programme delivery, and the behaviours elements of new apprenticeships. Digital credentials can support gateway decisions and can reward endpoint assessment and can extend through to CPD. DigitalMe can also directly support organisations who wish to offer their own digital credentials, both with the recognition services of Sitting Guilds or ILM, or without. So I've given you an overview of what digital credentials are, why they're so important, and the opportunities they open up to us at Sitting Guilds. And I've shown you some of the ways that Sitting Guilds is starting to work with them, and why you'll continue to see much more from us around these exciting new ways to award and recognise skills in a much more flexible and empowering way. I hope I've whetted your appetite to learn more, and here are some key contacts within Sitting Guilds or directly at DigitalMe for you to start or continue your credentialing journey with. Thank you very much for your time today.